Hello. Hello, officers. Very good evening and a warm welcome to everybody. आप सबका स्वागत है चैनल पर जिसका नाम है ऑलिव बोर्ड। मैं रोशन प्रताप सिंह फिर से आपके साथ आरबीआई ग्रेड बी के एग्जाम्स के कुछ important topic के साथ. So today we are discussing allegation and mixtures. We have already encountered topics such as time and work, compound interest and profit and loss. So this is the fourth lecture which is way more important for quant sections. So basically in pre and mains, both allegation and mixtures are very important for your quant section also as well as for the DI section also. There are certain questions which is based on caselets also. So basically for quant wala part and for DI wala part ये बहुत ज़्यादा important होता है, ठीक है? It's very important. Fine. So what is allegation and mixture? Mixture means mixing of identities and what is allegation? Allegation को हिंदी में ना परिमिश्रण कहते हैं, है ना? But allegation, what is allegation? Allegation is a method. Allegation is a method of solving the typical or the crucial questions with a very easy way. Fine. So we will be using allegation in certain ways. So what is the concept of allegation says? Let's say there are two shopkeepers A and B, and always we use the average value in allegation. Let's say one of the article cost rupees 30 per kg and the other article cost rupees 70 per kg. So these are the respective average cost prices. Remember one thing in mind, in allegation we always use the average value. यहाँ हम औसत value ही use करते हैं, ठीक है? I have two varieties of, let's say, sugar. One is 30 per kg and the other is 70 per kg. If I am mixing both the identities, depending upon what is the ratio in which I am mixing both the identities, the cost price of the mixture will be evolved, है ना? मैं किस रेशियो में दोनों क्वांटिटी को मिला रहा हूं उस पे ये कॉस्ट प्राइस ऑफ द एंटायर मिक्सचर डिपेंड करेगा, ठीक है? लेट्स से while mixing the cost price of the mixture become 40 per kg. So this is the mean value. एलिगेशन में ये मीन वैल्यू उसकी तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. द मीन वैल्यू विल बी शिफ्टेड टुवर्ड्स दोज आइडेंटिटी व्हिच इज हैविंग द हायर नंबर ऑफ क्वांटिटी. So 40 is more closer to 30. That means in a tug of war, this quantity is winning. So I have mixed maximum quantity of rice, maximum quantities of rice A. So what is allegation? Difference of both the values. 70 and 40 is having a difference of 30, and 40 and 30 is having a difference of 10. So this is the ratio, that is 3 and 1. So this is the ratio of quantity. So I have mixed both the quantities in the ratio of 3 and 1. Now allegation is being used in every topic. Even in mensuration there are certain questions in which we use the method of allegation. Even in time and distance, even in profit and loss, even in pipes and cistern, even in time and work, even in percentage, even in average. So everywhere we are using allegation, right? So everywhere we will be getting this ratio, and in every case the ratios are different. Here the ratio is of quantity. Why? This is the average price. And how is average price being calculated? Sum of all the price by number of quantity. So this is the ratio of quantity. If you are using average speed over here, speed is what? Speed is distance upon time. Then this particular ratio will be the ratio of time. If you are using bowling average over here, what is bowling average? Bowling average is runs conceded by a bowler by wicket taken. Then this will be the ratio of wickets. If you are using allegation in profit and loss percent, let's say 20% profit, 10% loss, 2% profit, then this will be the ratio of profit percent is calculated on cost price. So this will be the ratio of cost price depending upon the topic, depending upon the what average value you have considered, this ratio will change. Fine. My voice is low, isn't it? Okay, just let me check. Fine, so let's start the question now. This is the first question. Okay, A gave 25% of an amount to B. A is giving 25% of amount to B. From the money B got, he spent 30% on dinner. He is spending 30% on the dinner. Out of the remaining amount, the respective ratio between the amount B spent on savings and the amount spent on buying book is in the ratio of 5:2. If B bought the book for rupees 460, how much money does A give? So alligation and mixture is a concept of various identities, ratios, proportion and all, everything. So we will be having way more different questions of alligation and mixture. Now see, so A gave 25% of the amount to B. Let's say what A was having is 400 rupees. Why I'm considering for 400? Because I will be able to calculate 25% of it. So what is the amount given to B? The amount given to B is 25%. 25% is representing 1 by 4. Hai na? So 1 by 4 will be 100. So let's say B is having 100 rupees. Out of this 100 rupees, what is happening? B is spending 30% on dinner. So what is the amount spent on dinner? 30%. So on dining, he has spent 30%. That means 30 rupees. What is the amount which is left out with him? So amount left out with him is 70 rupees. So out of 400 which A has got, 25% is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is the amount given to B. 100 rupees is the amount given to B. Out of this 100 rupees, B is spending rupees 30% on the dinner wala part, 30%. So that is 30 rupees. So amount left out is 70 rupees. Out of this 70 rupees, what B is doing? He is distributing this amount in the ratio of 5:2. That too in what? This 5:2 in ratio spent on buying book. Okay, saving. B kept as saving and the amount he spent on buying a book. Out of the remaining amount, respective ratio between the amount B kept as savings. So this entire ratio is of savings and buying books. So bifurcate this 70 in 5:2. So 70 is distributed among 7 ratio. If 7 ratio is equivalent to 70, that means each ratio will be equivalent to 10. So this is 50 and this is 20. According to my data, according to my consideration, amount of money spent on book is 20 unit, which according to the question is 460 rupees. That means my each and every value will be equal to 23 times of questions. So 1 unit is equivalent to 23. So the amount A is having in the beginning is 400 times of 23. That is what? 9200. So the amount with A was 9200. So this is the amount which A was having. Is it clear? Is it clear, bacha? So the amount which A is having is 9200. Clear? Okay. Next question. This particular question is based on income and expenditure. Let's have a very different approach of solving this question. We will be very much so don't take part into calculation part. Let's see how much efficiently we are solving this question. Read the question. This might seem to be a very interesting question. Okay, very calculative, but we will not be calculating it much. We will be doing it a very simple method. हम इसे बहुत ही आसान तरीके से करने वाले हैं. ठीक है? Question क्या कह रहा है? The total salary of A and B together is 1215. So this is 1215. This is the entire salary of A and B. So we just don't know the salary, respective salary of A and B. A spent 85, 5 by 7%. See, 5 by 7. 7 is there in the denominator wala part. What is 14 2 by 7%? 14 2 by 7% is 1 by 7. And this particular 85 is nothing but 6 times 14 times of 6 is 84, है ना? So this is almost 6 times. So directly we can write this as 85 5 by 7%. How this is coming? This is 84 12 by 7. 84 12 by 7, and 12 by 7 can be written as 1 5 by 7. That 1 is getting transfer over here. So this is 6 times. So that is 6 by 7. So what A is doing? A is spending 85 5 by 7%, means out of the income of 7, how much he is spending? So he is spending 6 unit. Fine. And what about B? So B is spending 83 1 by 3%. 83 1 by 3%. What is this value? From 100, this is 16 2 by 3% less, isn't it? 16 2 by 3, and this value both makes 100. 16 2 by 3 is 1 by 6, so this should be 5 by 6. So this particular value is nothing but 5 by 6. And what about B? So out of the income of say 6, B is spending rupees 5. Now the ratio of savings of A and B are given. Fine. Respective ratios of savings of A and B are given. What about A? Let's see about A. Sir, A, out of the total income of 7, he is spending 6 rupees. That means A is saving how much? So savings of A will be 1 by 7 of X. 1 by 7. है ना? And this 1 by 7 is representing, let's say the income of A is 7x. Out of 7x, if somebody is spending rupees 6, that means he is saving what? 1 by 7 of X. And this 1 by 7 of X is representing 3. So the value of X will be 21 unit. Value of X will be 21 unit. Again, orally we will doing it. 85 5 by 7% कितना होता है? 6 by 7. So out of 7, if somebody is spending rupees 6, that means he is saving 1 by 7. So 1 by 7 of his income, let's consider the income of A is X. So 1 by 7 of X is representing 3 units. So X will be equal to 21. And what about B? So B 6 में से 5 को spend कर रहा है. B is spending 5 by 6. That means he is saving how much? 1 by 6 of his income. Let's say Y, which is equivalent to 4 units. So this is saving, which is equivalent to 4 unit. So Y will be what? 24. So X and Y are in the ratio of, eliminate this by 3, that is 7 and 8. So the respective ratios of income of X and Y are 7 and 8. X and Y are represented as the income of A and B. Let's say the income of A is X and that of B is Y. So out of the entire income of X, A is spending 6 by 7 part. That means he might be saving 1 by 7 of X, which is further equivalent to saving of A is 3 unit. So X is 21 and Y is 24, which is having the ratio of 7 and 8. So bifurcate this into A and B. The ratio of income will be 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is equivalent to 15 units. 15 unit is equal to 1 to 1 5. So 1 unit will be 81 times. 15 times of 8 is 120 and 81. So 81 into 7 and 81 into 8 will be their respective income. So 567 and 648. 567 and 648 are the respective income of A and B. Is it clear, बच्चा? Clear है ये? Fine. Can we be able to do it orally? Yes. 6 by 7. 85 5 by 7 is nothing but 6 by 7. Out of 7, if somebody is spending 6, that means he is saving how much? 1 by 7. 1 by 7 is equivalent to 3. That means complete will be 7 times of 3, that is 21. So A part of income is 21. What about B? B is spending 83.33%, that is 5 by 6. So that means out of 6, somebody is spending 5. So he might be saving 1 by 6 part. And this 1 by 6 part is relevant to 4. Both are saving 1 by 6 part and 4 are saving. If 1 by 6 is 4, so entire income will be 24. So 21 and 24 are the respective income. Dividing this 21 and 24, we will be getting a ratio of 7 and 8. So eliminate this 1 to, bifurcate this 1 to 1, 5 and 7 and 8 ratio. Clear? बहुत बढ़िया. Next question. This is an important question of mixture. there are two vessels which contains milk and water in the ratio of 7, 8 and 13, 5 respectively. If both vessels are mixed in this particular ratio, then the ratio of milk and water in the new container is fine. So there is two containers. Both the containers are having the ratio of milk and water. So milk and water in the first container is in the ratio of 7 and 8, and in the second container it's 13 and 5. Fine. So I am mixing both the containers. The content of both the container are mixed in the third container. So the ratio of milk and water in the third container is to be evaluated. So depending upon the nature of container, the final result will lie. Now if I am mixing this in 5 and 3, 5 part of this and 3 part of this particular container will be aggressive, right? So the content of this container will be more towards this container. If I'm mixing 100 liter of this and 1 crore liter of this, so this will be in a higher position now. So depending upon in what particular ratio I am mixing both the containers, the final answer will be reflected. So in this particular question, both the containers are being mixed equally. That means in a ratio of 1 and 1. So that means the volume taken from both the container has to be same. Let's check out the volume over here. The volume of the first container is 15 unit and that of the second container is 18 units. The question has asked it clearly that you should be mixing both the container in the ratio of 1 and 1. So make it equal. How to make it equal? Make it a multiple. So multiple of 15 and 18 is 90. By making it a volume of 90, multiply this by 6 and 5. By doing so, this is becoming 90 and 90. The moment I am multiplying this 6 inside, this will be 42 and 48. And this will be 65 and 25. So the moment I have done this, the ratio of milk and water in both the container becomes equal, that is 90 and 90. Now add this particular ratio, this is 107 and this is 73. So after mixing both the container, the ratio of milk and water will be in the ratio of 107 and 73. Option A will be the answer. Option A has to be the answer. Okay? So the ratio of milk and water after mixing should be in the ratio of 107 and 73. So this is the ratio of milk and water in the container. Now, if it is in 1 and 1, if the ratio is in 1 and 1, I have made it 1 and 1. If this is in different ratio, I will be making it different only. So check out this question. Over here we are having 3 containers, A, B, C. Mixture of milk and water is there. The ratio of milk and water is 1, 3, 2, 3 and 2, 5. If the capacities of the containers being in the ratio of 2, 3 and 5, find the ratio of milk and water if the containers are mixed together. Okay, so we are having 3 containers now. So the ratios of capacities are 2, 3 and 5. So this all the containers are poured into the third. So we need to find out the ratio of milk and water in the third container. This is our main question. So what is the ratio of milk and water in the first container? In the first container, the ratio of milk and water was 1 and 3. In the second container, it was in the ratio of 2 and 3. In the third, it was in the ratio of 2 and 5. So check out the volume over here. The volume over here is 4. This is 5 and this is 7, isn't it? 1 and 3 is 4, 2 and 3 is 5 and 2 and 5 is 7. If you are adding over here, the answer will be 5 and 11. But this is not the answer. Why? Because you are mixing this container in the ratio of 4, 5 and 7. But according to the question examiner has asked that you should be mixing the container in the ratio of 2, 3 and 5. This is not 2, 3 and 5. How to make this 2, 3 and 5? How to make this 2, 3, 5? So first make it equal. Let's say we have ratio, suppose we have ratio 3 and 4. How to make this 3 and 4 in the ratio of 5 and 7? how to make this 3 and 4 as 5 and 7. So first what you are doing is, first you are making it equal. Make it equal first. It becomes 12 and 12. Now multiplied with the desired ratio. What is happening? This 4 and 3 will get eliminated, and this 3 by 4 becomes 5 by 7. So the same concept I am using over here. First make the volume equal. How to make it equal? By taking the multiple. 4, 5 and 7 are co-prime to each other. So the multiple of co-prime numbers are the product itself. So multiply this 4 with 35, and hence we are making it 140. 5 with 28, 140, and 7 with 20, that is 140. So I have made it equal, right? But the container was not of equal volume. The volume has to be in the ratio 2:3:5. So I'm multiplying this by 2, this by 3, and this by 5. Fine. Now this will be equal 140, 140, 140, and 2:3:5 will be reflected. Now eliminate this. Is something is eliminated? Yeah, this is 2 times of 14, and this is 2 times of 10. This 5 will eliminate this 35, but this 5 we don't have the factor over here. So multiply this. This is 35. Ratio 105. 14 into 3 is 42. So 42 times of 2, that is 84, and 42 times of 3, 42 times of 3 will be 126. This is 50 times of 2, that is 100, and 50 times of 5, that is 125. 50 times of 5, that is, this is 50, and 5, that is 250. So we get the ratio. This is in the ratio of 2, 3, and 5. If you add these values, you will be getting it in the ratio of 2, 3, 5. So this is milk, and this is water. Add the milk wala part and the water wala part. What is this? This is 9. 18 plus 3 is 21. This is 219. And what about this? This is 6 plus 5 is 11. 1. 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 481. 219. Ratio 481. So 219 ratio 481 is the desired ratio of milk and water. What is the question is asking? Find the ratio of milk to that of water. Find out the ratio of milk to the water. The ratio of milk to that of water will be 219 ratio 481. See, this is the reversed ratio, right? This is the ratio of water to that of milk. We are asked the ratio of milk to the water. First it was milk, right? First it was milk. So this is milk to that of water. So the answer will be none of this, which is reciprocal of this number. Clear? So in the previous question, the volume was equal. So we made it equal. In this particular question, the volume was not equal. We were asked to make it in the ratio of 2:3:5. If you will be adding this number, you will be finding it out that you have made it in the ratio of 2:3:5. How did I made it in 2:3:5? First I made these numbers equal. 4, 5 and 7 were made 140. Then I multiplied with the desired ratio, that is 2, 3 and 5. So this is a very beautiful question of mixture. बच्चा पार्टी clear है? So the desired ratio of milk and water will be in the ratio of 219 and 481. Wow, beautiful question. It's a very beautiful question. So we will be having a very different approach of solving it. है ना? Just see the approach what we are using in the examination hall. A ratio of milk and water in the mixture is this. If we added X liter of milk to the container, the ratio will change. Definitely it's going to change. And the moment we added 50 liter of water, so again it will be changing. So it's in 2 and 5. What is the value of X? Okay. So what was the ratio of milk and water? Just look at over here. The initial ratio was 1 and 3. We added X liter of milk. Okay, so what we are adding? You are adding just milk. The moment you are adding only single identity, what will happen? the concentration of milk will rise and the concentration of water will decrease. Hence, the ratio will change. So the ratio changes to 7:15. Fine. Why did this ratio changes? This ratio changes because of the addition of milk. So you are adding the milk. Due to the addition of milk, the ratio is changing, but the content of water which was present should be same. So I'm making this water wala part constant. So I'm making this water wala part constant. So I'm multiplying this by 5 and this by 1. So by doing so, I will be making it equal. So what is the ratio of milk and water now? So the ratio of milk and water becomes, initially it was 5:15. 1 and 3 and 5:15 are the same ratio, and this is 7:15. The moment I made this water wala part constant, it is clearly visible that amount of milk added is 2 unit, and this 2 point is equivalent to x, isn't it? How much milk was added? X liter of milk was added. The moment I made that water wala part constant, why did I made the water wala part constant? This ratio changes only because of the addition of milk. Water was not responsible. That means the physical quantity or the quantity of water was same. So I made it equal. The moment I made this water wala part constant, it was just seen the amount of milk added was 2 point, which according to the question is x liter. So x will be 2 units. Now again what I am doing, adding 50 liter of water. In the previous case I was adding what? Milk. Now I am adding water. So basically the ratio of 7 and 15. So basically the container is of now, in this container the ratio of milk and water is in the ratio of 7 and 15. The moment I am adding water, the ratio again changes to 2 and 5. Now this particular changes is because of the addition of water. That means now I have to make that milk wala part constant. So how to make this milk wala part constant? How to make this 7 and 2 constant? By multiplying this by number 2 and by multiplying this by number 7. Fine. So if you are multiplying this by 2, even this will become 2 times. So 4 point will be equivalent to x now. I am multiplying the above equation by 2. If you are multiplying this by 2, even this entire thing will be multiplied by 2. So 2 point will also be multiplied by 2, that is 4 point. So now the ratio is what? Ratio is 14:15, and it becomes 14:35. Sorry, this is 14:30. It was 14 ratio. When multiplied 2, this is 14:30 and 14:35. So amount of water added is 5 unit, which is equivalent to 50 liter. So if 5 unit is equivalent to 50 liter, 1 unit will be equivalent to 10 liter. And if 1 unit is equivalent to 10 liter, the value of x will be 4 units. So 4 unit will be 4 into 10, that is 40 liter. So the value of x is 40 liter, which is option number C. Again, will I be doing it with another different method? Yeah, we can do it via different method. Basic method is also there. But look at this method first. The initial ratio was 1 and 3, which changes to 7 and 15. The ratio changes because of the addition of milk. Make this water wala part constant. I multiplied this by 5. The moment I multiplied this by 5, this becomes 5:15 and 7:15. So amount of milk added was 2 point, which is equivalent to x. Now the container, after addition of milk, the ratio will be in the ratio 7 and 15. Now again I am adding water. The ratio will again change. The ratio changes to 2 and 5. Though I have added water, now the milk wala part will be constant. I'm making it equal. I'm multiplying this by 2 and this by 7 to make it equal. The moment I am multiplying this by 2, even this will become 2 times also. So the x will be becoming 2 into 2, that is 4 units. We are here to calculate the value of x, that is 4 unit. So we are basically dependent on 1 unit now. So the moment I made this milk wala part constant, it was clearly visible that the addition of water is 5 unit, which is basically equal to 50 liter. 1 unit will be 10 liter. If 1 unit is 10 liter, 4 unit will be 40 liter. So the amount of value of x will be Why multiply 2 and 7? I am multiplying this by 2 and 7 only because to make this milk wala part constant. Initially, I added milk. So I made the water wala part constant. I made it water constant. Now in the second case, what I am adding? I am adding 50 liter of water. That means amount of milk has to be constant now. The ratio changes to 7 and 15 after the addition of water. Now after the addition of milk, now with the addition of water, what is happening? The ratio changes to 2:5. Who is responsible? Water is responsible. So which part should be constant? The milk part should be constant. So how to make this constant? By making it 14 equal. So I'm multiplying this by 2 and this by 7. Initially there are two conditions. First I was adding what? First I was adding milk. So I made this water wala part constant. In the second scenario I am adding what? In the second scenario I am adding water. So milk should be constant. So first I made the water constant. Now I am making the milk wala part constant. Clear? Clear, Morali? Fine. Next question. Beautiful question. See, approach is important, or else how come you will be always be having a phobia of quant? Basically in banking sector, you will be finding more than average number of people who are having a phobia of quant. They are only dependent on the speed maths. And this is what the reason they are able to clear the pre-exams based on quadratic, number series and simplification approximation. And somewhat they are doing 1 or 2 DIs. But what about that entire session of quant, caselets and all? So basically you should be emphasizing more on the quant part. If you are emphasizing more on quant part, your DI section will be way more stronger. Your caselets asked on mains will be stronger, and the 10 questions which are being put up in quant section in pre as well as mains, even that part will be stronger. So you need to consider main, your entire out of 100% time you are allotting for your quant or for your entire math session, 75% should be the time you should be allotting or emphasizing on this quant wala section, arithmetic part. The rest 25% on the speed maths, because the moment you are doing this quant wala part, then also your speed are enhancing, right? The moment you are doing that DI part, caselets part, your speed is getting enhanced, है ना? And only the best way to enhance your speed is to have a knowledge and the best method. If you are not having the knowledge and you are just doing it with the very basic method, how can you will be clearing the mains exam? And main important thing is main, it's not about clearing pre. So there are some, I have been knowing many of the people who are always they are clearing pre, but they are unable to clear mains. Why? Because teachers also tell them they are clear this speed math session and all. है ना? What about quant? Who is responsible for quant session? Nobody is touching this quant session. So always focused on quant session. By doing the quant session, by having the knowledge of quant session, anyhow your simplification approximation is, it's not a big deal, right? It's about how many questions are you are practicing for your simplification approximation. See how beautiful this question is. And approach is important. See, approach is important. So I'm here just to tell you the approach. So there can be a basic approach. So this kind of approach you won't be finding, है ना, in quant. I'm not doing it with a basic approach. Okay. Now, a milkman uses 3 containers for selling milk. There are 3 containers. Fine. So these are the 3 containers. These are of 40 liter. This is of 40 liter. This is of 30 liter, and this is of 20 liter. Fine. These are the capacities of the container. He fills respectively 87.5%, 80% and 90% of the containers with a mixture of milk and water. So this is of 40 liter, but this entire container was not filled. This was filled by 7/8 part. What is 7/8? 87.5%. How did you find this 87.5% at 7/8? Either you have a lot of practice or do one thing. 100 minus 87.5% is 12.5. Both are making a complete figure, right? 12.5% is 1/8. So if out of 8 this is 1, out of 8 this will be 7. So 80. So though the container was of 40 liter, but the amount of mixture I am putting into it is 35 liter. So basically this container is of 35 liter now. Now second is what? 80%. 80% is 4 by 5, isn't it? What is 20%? 20% is 6. So 80% will be 24. So, or 4 by 5? 4 by 5 of 30. So this is 24 liter. And what about the third container? Third container 90%. So 90% is what? 90% is 18 liter. So though this was the capacity, but this was not completely filled. They were filled with this much percentage or this much liter. Now the ratio of milk and water. So the ratio of milk and water in this entire container are in the ratio of 3:2, 5:1 and 7:2. What about the volume? The volume is 5, the volume is 6 and the volume is 7 and 2. 7:2 means 9. So what is the ratio of total quantity of milk and water carried by him? What is the total quantity of, what is the ratio of total quantity of milk and water carried by him? So this 35 liter, so basically this you can just divide it. Yeah, they are not, so divide this into 3 and 2. 5 unit is 35, 1 unit will be 7, so this is 21 and this is 14. This 20 liter are in the ratio of 3 to 5 and 1. 5 and 1. So 5 and 1 is basically 6 unit. 6 is representing 24. 1 unit will be 4. So this is 20 and 4. So I am simply dividing this in 5 and 1 ratio. And this is nothing but 7 and 2. 9 unit will be 18. 1 unit will be 2. So 2 into 7, that is 14 and 4. Fine. So what is the amount of milk and what is the amount of water now? So the amount of milk is 21 plus of 20 plus of 14. And what is the amount of water? That is 14 plus 4 plus 4. So this is 20, 40, 50, 55. So this is 55. And what about this? 14 plus 8 is 22. So the amount of milk and water will be in the ratio of 5 and 2. So this was a basic question, right? So this is 5 and 2. So the ratio of milk and water carried by him is in the ratio of 5 and 2. Clear? So 5 and 2 will be the respective ratio. है ना? This 40 liter, 7 by 8 is 35, 25, 4 and 18. I divided this. So this was easy, not so tough. Three equal glasses are filled with a mixture of milk and water. Milk and water. The proportion of milk and water in each are as follows. That is 3:1 in first, 5 and 3 in second, 9 and 7 are third. All the container are of equal volume. The containers are poured into the third container. So make the volume equal. This is 4, this is 8 and this is 16, right? So the volume should be equal. Make it equal because the container are of equal volume. So for making it 16, you multiply this by 4, this by 2 and this by 1. The moment you are multiplying this, this is becoming 12 and 4, that is 16. This is 10 and 6, this is 16. And this is what? 16, 9 and 7. Add this ratio. 10, 22, 22 plus 9 is what? 31. And what about this? 17. So 31 ratio 17 is the answer. Is it clear? Is it clear, bacha? Comment, is it clear? Is it clear? So the ratio of milk and water after mixing will be ratio of 13 and 17. There are 75 students in a class. 48 rupees are distributed among them so that each boy will be getting 1 rupees and each girls will be getting 40 paise. Find the number of girls and boys in that class. What is the total ratio? What is the number of girls and boys? Fine. So you can be doing this via alligation. You can be using X. You can be using options. Fine. So basic approach is how many boys and girls are there? So the number of boys and girls are 75 over here. And what is the number of amount of money that is distributed? That is 48 rupees. So 48 rupees is distributed. The number of each boy is getting 1 rupee and each girl is getting 40 paisa. Each girl is getting 40 paisa and each boy is getting 1 rupee. Fine. So basic approach is, what is the basic approach? Let's say the number of boy and number of girl. Let's say the number of boy is X and the number of girl is 75 minus of X. So this is the basic expression. I won't be doing this via this method. Each boy is getting how much? 1 rupee. So each boy is getting 1 rupee. So the X into 1. And each girl is getting 40 paisa, that is 0.4. And the total money distributed among them is nothing but 48. So basically this is X, this is 0.4 into 75 minus X. From here you will be getting the value of X and hence the number of boy and girl will be evaluated. Clear? Are you getting this? I am considering each boy as X, each girl will be 75 minus X because their sum total is 75. Total number of students are 75. If boys is X, girl will be 75 minus X. Each boys is getting 1 rupee, each girl is getting 40 paisa. 40 paisa is nothing but 0.4. So total money distributed among them is 48. What is the other approach? What should be the other approach? So each boy is getting 1 rupee and each girl is getting 40 paisa. So all these 75 students are at least getting 40 paisa. Girls will be getting 40 paisa and boys are getting 100 paisa. 1 rupee means 100 paisa. That means satisfy the juniors. So everybody will be getting at least 40 paisa. I just don't know what is the number of boy and girl present in 75. So the entire 75 students being given 40 paisa each. So if I am giving 40 paisa each, so the total distribution becomes what? 75 into 2 is 150, that is 3000 paisa. So I have already distributed 3000 paisa. So what is the remaining paisa left out with me? 48 rupees is nothing but 4800 paisa. So out of 4800 paisa, 3000 paise is being distributed. That means 1800 paise is being left out. And this 1800 paisa will be distributed among boys because when I was distributing 40 paisa for everybody, girls were supposed to get 40 paisa, so they are acquiring 40 paisa. But what about the number of boys? What about the boys wala part? Boys were supposed to get 100 paisa, but I gave them 40 paisa each. So this entire 1800 paisa should be divided among boys by giving 60 paisa each. So the number of boys over here is 30. So the number of boys become 30. So you will be solving this. You will be getting X equals 30. That is number of boys. And number of girls will be 45. You know? Number of girls will be 45. Even you can solve this via using alligation. So 30 and 45, option number A is your required answer. Clear? Your required answer is, so this is your approach and this is basic method. 1 rupee given to each boys, 0.4 paisa, 0.4 rupees given to each girls. Entire sum of money is 48. X is equals 30. So number of boys is 30 and number of girls is 45. No options are there in this question. Let's see. Anybody of you will be able to do it or not. So in a bag, we have coins of 50 paisa and 20 paisa and 1 rupee. In a bag, the coin of 50 paisa is 20% less than the coin of 1 rupee. Okay. So there is 1 rupee coin and 50 paise coins. Percentage value is 20%, which is basically 1 by 5. In a bag, the coins of 50 paisa is 20% less. So 1 by 5 less means the ratio will be 5 and 4. And the coins of 1 rupee, whereas the coins of 20 paisa is 33.33% less than the coins of 1 rupee. So as compared to 1 rupee, the coins of 20 paise is 33.33%, which is nothing but 1 by 3. 1 by 3 less than the coin of 1 rupee. So the ratio will be 3 and 2. The ratio between 1 rupee coin and 50 paise coin is in the ratio of 5 by 4, because 50 paise coin is 1/5 less and they are 1/3 less. So we have the ratios of 1 rupee should be same, because this 1 rupee is same both the sides. So I'm multiplying this by 3 and I'm multiplying this by 5. I'm making it equal. So basically the coins of 1 rupee, 50 paise and 20 paise, the ratio of coins, the ratio of their numbers will be in the ratio of 15, then 12 and then 10. Entire bag is carrying 690 rupees. So this is value oriented question. You have only value oriented question and coins oriented. Either the examiner will ask, there are only two methods. Either the examiner will say the entire bag is having 690 rupees, or the examiner will say the bag is having 690 coins. Only two formats are there, right? So convert everything into values. Let's say 1 rupee of 15 coins. So this is 15x. So 1 rupee of 15 coins will be 15 rupees. 50 paise of 12 coins will be 6 rupees. And for every 5 coins of 20 paise, I will be considering 1 rupee. So divide this by 5. If you are having 10 coins of 20 paise, you are having 2 rupees with you. So according to me, the sum of money in the bag is 15 plus 6 is 21, that is 23 units, which is further equal to 690. So 1 unit will be equal to 30. If 1 unit is equal to 30, 30 into 15, 450 coins of 1 rupee, 30 into 12, 360 coins of 50 paise, and examiner has asked 20 paise coins. So the 20 paise coins will be 10 times of 30, that is 300 coins. Clear? 300 coins. So we have 300 coins of 20 paise. First we were having the ratios of 1 rupee and 50 paise. Then we had a ratio of 1 rupee and 20 paise. I made that 1 rupee part constant. The moment I made the constant, the ratio, desired ratios is this. You can also consider this as 15x, 12x and 10x. 15x of 1 rupee means 15x rupee. This will be 6x rupees and this will be 2x rupees. So entire money will be 23x, which is equal to 690. X will be 30. So 30 into 10, that is 300 coins of 20 paise. Oh, very beautiful. How beautiful this question is designed. Beautiful question. And let's see the approach what we are using over here. The income of A is 80% of B's income, and the expenditure of A is 60% of B's expenditure. If the income of A is equal to 90% of B's expenditure, then by what percent are the savings of A more than the savings of B? Okay. So we have A and B over here. First is the ratio of income. The income of A is 80% of B's income. 80% is nothing but 4 by 5. So basically the ratio will be 4 and 5. And what about the ratios of their expenditure? That is 60%, 60% is 3 by 5. Expenditure of A is 60% of B's expenditure, that means 3 and 5. So this should be in the ratio of X and this should be in the ratio of Y. But before solving this by X and Y, unnecessary, you should not be using X and Y everywhere. Fine. Let's see. If the income of A, this particular value, is 90% of B's expenditure. This is expenditure of B. This has to be 90% of B's expenditure. So what is 90%? 90% means 9 by 10. So basically the examiner has said that the income of A has to be 90% of B's expenditure. That means they are supposed to be in the ratio of 9 and 10. But they are not in the ratio of 9 and 10. How to make it 9 and 10? So this is basically 4 and 5. Income of A and expenditure of B. He has given the condition of income of A is equal to the 90% of B's expenditure. Basically this 4 and 5 should be in the ratio of 9 and 10. So how to make this 4 and 5 9 and 10? So first make it equal. This has become 20-20. Now I can be adjusting any values. If I want to make this as 9 and 10, so make it 9 and 10. This will be eliminated and 9 and 10 will be the 9 and 10 will reflect it. So basically what I am doing is I need to make this as 9 and 10. So I am multiplying this by 5 and this by 4. Why I am doing so? I am making it 20-20. Now I am multiplying this by 9 and by 10. So by doing so, this is becoming how much? 4 into 5 is 20, 4 into 5 is 20, 20 will be eliminated, 9 and 10 will be reflecting now. So this 45 will be going inside. So this is A and this is B. So the ratio of income will be 45 into 4 is 180 and 45 into 5 is 225. 40 into 3 is 120 and 40 into 5 is 200. Just look at this over here. Expenditure of B is 200 and income of A is 180. 180 is nothing but 90% of A. So we have successfully made it equal, made it 90%. So if this is income, now we have the saving ratio. So he is saving 20 rupees and he is saving 25 rupees. Out of 225, if somebody is spending 200, so that means his saving part will be 25 and his saving part is 60. This should be 60. His saving part is 60. So this is the ratios of the savings. Question has, by what percent are the saving of A more than B's saving? So saving of A is more as compared to B. How much more? That is 35 more. Saving of A, that means this particular 60 is more as compared to the saving of B by how much? 35 more as compared to 25. This is what percent? This is 25 times of 4. 35 into 4 is what? 140%. So 140% will be the result. 140%, that will be option number B for Temba Babuma is your answer. Temba Babuma will be the answer. 140% is the result. 140% will be the result. Clear? Very beautiful question. Fine. Oh, beautiful question. A vessel is full of 1600 liter milk. Okay. So this is a vessel which is containing pure milk. that is of 1600 liter. So entirely this vessel is made up of milk. A person draws 25%. So how much part he is drawing? That is 25%. 25% of milk from the vessel and replace it with water. So same amount of water he is putting. So again, the entire capacity is being filled. But when he has taken 25%, that is 1/4 part. What is 1/4? 25% is 1/4. 1/4 of 1600, that is 400 liter. So he is drawing 400 liter of milk and he is putting 400 liter of water. That means now the container is full, again 1600 liter, but it is having 400 liter of water now. He has repeated the same process 2 times more. So that means entirely he is doing it 3 more times, 2 more times, that is 3 times. So now again in the second step when he is drawing 25%, that means the mixture will be coming. In the first case, to the first customer he is giving 25%, that is only milk, pure milk. But the moment he is adding water, to the second customer he is giving a mixture of milk and water. And to the third container he is again giving the mixture of milk and water, in which the water part is more. Now find the final amount of milk in the vessel now. Okay, what is the amount of milk which is being taken out? So each time milk is being taken out 25% of its previous identity. है ना? Let's say the price of machine depreciates every by 10%. If a price of machine depreciates every year by 10%, that means each year it's becoming 90% of its previous value. That is geometrically it is decreasing in compound interest form. So let's say the machine is of 2000 initial price. If the machine price is reducing every year by 10%, that means every year it is becoming 90% of its original value. Like this, it will go like this. So basically multiplying with a lesser factor, you are reducing the amount. That means the price of machine is gradually decreasing. Here also the amount of milk which is being taken out is 1/4. If you are pulling out 1/4 part of milk, so what is the amount of milk that is being left out? So each time milk is becoming 75% of its initial value or your previous value. You are taking 25% of milk every time. That means, let's say I am 100 liter now, 25% is being taken out. That means milk becomes 75. Now this 75 will become 100%. So each time 75% of milk is being remaining. 75% of the milk is being remaining of its previous part. And how many times we are doing it? We are doing it 3 times. So the amount of milk that is left in the container is, the milk was of 1600 liter. In 3 such attempt, it will be 3/4,